Few boxers in the lightweight division pack have crushing power and blinding speed as Garcia does. He seemed destined for greatness, and by 22 years of age, he was already being hailed as boxing's next superstar. Who is Ryan Garcia? Born on August 8, 1998, in Victorville, California, Garcia grew up in a family that was very supportive of his athletic pursuits, especially boxing. His father, Henry Garcia, who was a former amateur boxer, was the catalyst for Ryan's foray into the sport at the tender age of 7. The first training was in the family garage under the watchful eyes of his father, who would coach him early on, really setting him up nicely and helped him secure his later accomplishments in the ring. Garcia also had a strict upbringing, brought up by parents who enforced discipline and hard work in his childhood. His heritage is Mexican, which also lends to influence his boxing style and persona, since he often incorporated elements of his culture into the fights. Great feats highlight Ryan Garcia's amateur career, an impressive 215-15 record that really outlines his ability and perseverance during the developmental stages of his boxing career. He paid off by becoming a 15-time national amateur champion, earning accolades across various competitions. Being such a successful amateur set him up as a rising star and led him into professional boxing at 17 years old. That transition was sealed with an amazing debut on June 9, 2016. Since then, his professional career got underway with a first-round technical knockout against Edgar Meza on September 16, 2018, the beginning of the rise of Garcia into the top level of the boxing world. The electrifying style of boxing, combined with devastating knockout power, soon propelled him to prominence within the lightweight class. Not long thereafter, he rose to prominence through social media and became arguably one of the most famous boxers in recent times. He made his interim WBC lightweight title against former Olympian Luke Campbell on January 2, 2021. He rose from a second-round knockdown to stop his opponent in the 7th round, an incredible display of stamina and strength. His other big wins came against Javier Fortuna, who won via a knockout in the 6th round to further stamp his class as one of the leading contenders in the super lightweight division. This has also come with some defeats, despite having some successful bouts, like the match against Gervonta Davis, where he was knocked out in the 7th round. Garcia now boasts a professional record of 24 wins, 1 defeat, and 1 no contest, with 20 of his victories coming via knockout. He was scheduled to fight on April 20th, 2024 against Devin Haney. However, the fight came to a controversial end as it was called a no contest after a drug test controversy when Garcia had tested positive for Ostarine, a banned substance. There were 2 samples taken from Ryan, one day before the match and another on the day of the match. Tests were conducted by the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association and returned positive the day before and the day of the fight. Ostarine is regarded as a performance-enhancing drug, being used for muscle gain and increasing stamina. Garcia won initially by majority decision, but his match result against Haney was overturned after a positive test. Garcia's legal team has pointed out that the presence of Ostarine was due to some supplements he had been consuming. The lawyers of Garcia argued that he had never intentionally used any banned substances, and to support such a claim, the subsequent tests of hair samples returned negative results that were uningested through contaminated supplements. Regarding the positive tests, Garcia explained himself, maintaining that he knew nothing wrong about the supplements he was ingesting. He said he always committed himself to clean competition, never knowingly taking performance-enhancing drugs. Garcia's camp has been very aggressive in seeking leniency from NYSAC, using the low Ostarine findings, which are in the billionth of a gram range, as evidence of contamination rather than ingested intent. Currently, they are researching the supplements he ingested pre-fight to isolate where the contamination was coming from. With that in place, NYSAC reached a resolution to suspend Garcia for 1 year from April 20th, 2024 to April 20th, 2025. He was fined $10,000 and ordered to pay up to $1 million as his pursuit against Haney. Further out of this came another ripple event when Ryan Garcia announced his intention to countersue Devin Haney's camp. This decision comes after threatening remarks were made by Bill Haney, Devin's father and trainer, who, in a promotional clip, said, "Devin isn't going to box you, Ryan Garcia. He's coming to kill you." Garcia took the comments to heart and didn't consider them as hyping that precedes these kind of fights, but instead sought legal means, citing an attack on his person and character. On social media, Garcia said he could not let Bill Haney's comments go, which means the word crossed a line and became dangerous. He added that statements of this type should not go without a fight and called for legal action in response. On September 27, 2024, Devin Haney filed a lawsuit in New York against Ryan Garcia for battery, fraud, and breach of contract due to the controversy over the drug test. Haney's claims are based on the belief that he felt the Ostarine for which Garcia tested positive gave him an unfair advantage during the fight, which he had won by majority decision, but was later overturned to a non-contest ruling. The suit contends Haney never agreed to a bout with a fighter who had tested positive for a banned performance-enhancing substance. It also accuses Garcia of misrepresenting his ability to make weight in the fight, weighing in at 143.2 pounds for a 140-pound contest. In a release from Haney's attorneys, they said they would have called off the bout if they had known ahead of time about Garcia's testing positive. The lawsuit also names Golden Boy Promotions, Garcia's promoter. It is seeking a full accounting of event profits due to alleged unjust enrichment following the overturned fight result. Haney's camp is asking for punitive damages and accountability for the bout's financial implications. This suspension by the NYSAC is a big blow to Garcia's career. His record now stands at 24 wins, 1 loss, and 1 no contest, an unsavory blemish on what was thought to be a career-defining win over Haney. This suspension does not just put a hold on Garcia's immediate boxing activities, but it also calls into question his future in the sport. With 1 year off of competition, plus continued scrutiny of his actions leading up to this incident, how would he bounce back once he's able to make a return is uncertain. The case of Garcia shows the continuous problems professional boxing is dealing with in terms of performance enhancement, pharmaceuticals, and the responsibilities of the athletes. With fans and analysts alike watching him go through this debacle, many are left wondering, how will this pan out for his future within the sport?